Okay, Major Adam Lee III, that's ADAMLEE III, City of Atlanta Major Crime Section Commander. I would like to thank everybody for coming out today. We really appreciate everyone keeping this case in the public eye. I'm sure the family of Miss Beller really appreciates it, as well as the City of Atlanta Police Department. In my experience as a Major Crimes Section Commander, this has actually been about the worst crime that I have seen that was captured by a video camera or surveillance video camera. So we are relentlessly trying to solve this case. Ever since November 19th, the morning of November 19th, our investigators have been working tirelessly in trying to work on leads and anything that might help us to come to a closure, especially for the family. And you are definitely a part of that effort for us. Today we want to show you some items that we recovered. Actually, one item that we recovered nearby the crime scene, which is a black hoodie with the letter, or with the number 88 across the front of it, and the letter S on each sleeve. It really is not that visible in the picture, except for the picture from the video still. You can see the S, but you can't see the 88, which is on the chest in that photograph. We found a jacket that is exactly like it from the internet, from the manufacturer website. It's made by Switch. It's called Switch number 88 Men's Swagger, and you can see it depicted in this picture above my shoulder here. Also, the individual had on camouflage light gray pants and light blue tennis shoes. We believe that this individual was definitely complicit in the robbery and murder of Miss Chelsea Beller. So we are seeking him along with two other individuals who robbed this location, the Barcelona Bar, and subsequently killed Miss Beller, after which they ran down the street to Yeah Burger, which is another business nearby, and carjacked a Lyft driver. They then fled from that location, driving down 14th Street towards the expressway from Howell Mill. So I'll take any questions if you have any of me going forward.
Where was the sweatshirt found exactly?
We found the sweatshirt in an area near Georgia Tech. We believe what happened, they were traveling in the carjacked vehicle with their lights out. A Georgia Tech police officer noticed that he was traveling in the opposite direction, and he went to make a U-turn to effect a traffic stop. And in doing so, when he made the U-turn, they apparently turned off of 14th. We believe that is probably why they felt they were going to be pursued at that point. So they turned off the main thoroughfare onto a side street, which was Westshire, I believe. And this is where we noticed these items in that area. The car was abandoned. The items were strewn out everywhere. We found other clothing items. We found latex gloves. We found the mask that they were wearing. And all these things have subsequently been turned in to the GBI for a DNA examination.
You mentioned earlier this week that there were bloody clothes. Was this the bloody of the clothes?
Yes.
Blood on it?
Yes. There was also some blood on the scene. I'm glad you asked me that question. There was some blood on the scene. We believe at least one of the individuals received a significant injury when they attempted to or went over a razor wire fence. So there was quite a bit of blood in that area nearby where the car was abandoned. So we truly believe that one of those individuals, at least one, received a significant injury based on the amount of blood that we saw at that scene.
There's been some speculation that, just based on looking at the video, that one of the suspects was female. Is that something that you've been able to confirm?
No, we have not yet. That has been said and thought about. It's still inconclusive at this point. We haven't ruled it out, but nothing tells us either way that it is a man or a woman at this point. We're still receiving Crime Stoppers tips as I speak.
Is the person wearing the sweatshirt, do you think, was that person the shooter? I know that the video caught the whole thing.
Right. I'm not at liberty to say right now. In order to protect the integrity of the investigation, we want to withhold that information as to exactly who pulled the trigger.
Those items that are being analyzed for DNA evidence, is there a timetable on when we expect results from those items?
Well, we have to depend on the GBI in order to receive those results. So depending on their workload, you know, they work for the whole state. We're not the only agency that relies on them for that analysis. We usually will put in a request to expedite it, and hopefully they will get back with us as soon as possible.
And has that request been put in?
Yes, it has.
And then on the Crime Stopper tips, you said you continue to get tips. Have there been tips that have led you guys hopefully in the right direction, or how many tips? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes. The thing about Crime Stoppers tips is that they all have to be vetted. You can't just automatically assume, okay, this is a hot tip, let's go all the way with it. You have to actually question and go through the whole process in order to get to the point where you feel like this is a really good lead and it's worth us spending some time on.
The video, one could argue, showed that at least one of the suspects sort of familiarity with the back of the house of that restaurant. Have you guys been able to, are you guys looking at a potential connection between one or all of these shooters or killers and in the restaurant, how they may be connected?
We are investigating every possibility, whether or not it's a former employee or someone who is very familiar with the restaurant. All those angles are being looked at. As we speak, or as I speak, our investigators are working on this case day in and day out. Right now, there's an investigator working on a particular part. We're doing this as a team. This is not just one particular. We have a lead investigator, but our pretty much our whole squad has received something in a way of something to do, a to-do list as it pertains to this investigation. That's how we normally do things when we have a complex case like this that requires more than one person one investigator to take the lead.
Just on a personal level, I mean, the longer this goes on, talk about the frustration level. Does that increase the frustration level at this point?
Yes, it's very frustrating. We of course we want her parents or her relatives, her loved ones, to have some closure. Of course, the time of year plays a part. You know, it's the holiday season, so we want the family to know that we are not taking off. You know, we're going to follow this. You know, throughout the Christmas holidays, whatever it takes, we're going to get this case solved as soon as possible. And that's why we really need the media's help in trying to get this out here so we can identify this individual. Anyone who has seen someone wearing that item prior to November 19th, it's a very distinctive sweatshirt. It's got the neoprene type material with the number 88 on it and the S in black on the sleeves. Anyone who has ever seen this person, possibly leading up to that date, we implore you to call Crime Stoppers and give us that information. The reward right now stands at $20,000, and so we're hopeful that someone will call in and give us the right lead to work with.
I know you're still waiting on.
Was it a professional job, or was there maybe some sloppiness associated with that led you to believe that maybe these guys weren't so professional?
Well, I'll just say that I've seen people that are more professional. I'll just leave it at that.
Have fingerprints or anything that have been able to test early on matched any other crime scenes on your radar?
No, we haven't. We haven't come across anything that compares. We've gone back and we've looked at other robbery videos even to see if we can kind of see if these people or any of the other individuals may have been involved in some other robberies. There was, I believe, the same restaurant was robbed earlier this year, another location, and it doesn't appear to be the same people in that particular case.
I was going to ask you, the October 16th at the other Barcelona Wine Bar, it does not appear that...
Right. We did check that video, and it doesn't appear, based on body language anyway, that it's the same people. Not to say it's not, but it just doesn't appear at this point.
What is your sense about security at that restaurant? You know, we've done a couple of stories about employees raising concerns about their own personal safety and maybe some less than capable private security guards. We heard on the 911 call, for example, that the security guard there couldn't even give the address of the place. I mean, when you hear that and some of the previous employees' concerns, what do you think?
Well, it's only disheartening for us, but that we have to defer to the restaurant itself. The business, you know, they are responsible or whatever for doing whatever they do for security. The police department, you know, we have to provide our services to everybody. So we do directed patrols in areas where there is a request or a sense that it's needed. But beyond that, we can't particularly focus on any individual or individual business. We have to provide the same amount of service to the whole body of citizens of Atlanta.
But given sort of the, I mean, that particular area has seen sort of an explosion of growth of businesses as well as residential. Is there a sort of a shifting or reallocation of resources to that area, given some of the couple of high-profile crimes down there, but just sort of in general?
Well, we've always done that. We've always, I'm a former assistant commander in that area nearby. Zone 2 comes pretty close to that location, and we've always done directed patrols in areas where there's been a higher amount of crime in, let's say, a 28-day or 30-something day period. So that's a routine thing that we do in the police department, but unfortunately we can't be everywhere all the time.
What is it about this case that makes you say that this is one of the worst cases that you've seen?
Well, just looking at the video itself, in the age of technology that we live in, since I've been here doing what I do, my job, I have seen several videos that were captured, that captured homicides, and this particular one was just, it was heinous in nature and deplorable because of some of the things that I can't really talk about concerning the case that we want to keep private right now as we investigate. But it was just very very disheartening, and our investigators are, after seeing that, they are driven to get this case solved.
Folks, we're honored to be joined by Councilmember Ivy Lee Young. He's the councilmember for District 3, which encompasses the Barcelona Wine Bar. We'd like to give him a quick opportunity to say a few words.
The entire West Side community is really hurt by this incident. Miss Chelsea, no human being deserved what she faced at the murderer's hands. I am, to Major Lee, to Major Shearbaum, the zone commander for that area, I am just, and then also Chief Erica Shields, I'm very grateful of the kind of attention that this case is getting. I'm very grateful for the neighbors, of the business community, as well as the residents of West Midtown. They themselves are engaged in an unprecedented way to serve as an additional deterrent to make sure that this never happens again. And so I just had to publicly offer my condolences to Miss Chelsea's family, to all of her friends, for she was extremely loved by those that knew her. The surrounding community that is dramatically impacted by this incident. And though, some time has passed since the incident's taken place, we have not stopped. We have not stopped, and we're going to do everything possible to leave no stone unturned to provide all of the support that homicide needs. I'm very happy that we have the leadership that we have in homicide. If you just look at their record of success, I believe in not too distant future we will see some great outcomes from this investigation that we'll learn from to prevent this from ever happening again. So I just publicly wanted to thank you, Major Lee, Chief Shields, Major Shearbaum in the zone, and then all of the forces engaged, especially the business community, which is really mobilized to do some things themselves to provide some additional deterrence.
Thank you.
questions? Yes, that's it.
Thank you.
Any more
Thank-
questions?
thank you.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming, guys.
Y'all want
the-
email all those pictures? We have the digital copies.
Yes, yes, we'll get the emails to your desks.